Last week, I said yes to something I didn't really want to. I'm 39, and I spent 3 days afterward in this quiet, low grade anger I couldn't really explain. Not to anyone else, not even to myself. And I think that's a version of people pleasing nobody really talks about. Not the dramatic version, just the one that runs underneath everything. When you don't even notice you're doing it. Until you're lying in bed wondering why you feel off. Mine started early. I was born with some physical stuff. Heart surgery as a kid. I walk with a limp. One of my hands doesn't really work the way it's supposed to. And when you grow up already feeling like people have to be patient with you just for existing, you figure out something pretty fast. If you're easy, if you don't push back, if you make people comfortable, you stop being a problem. You fit. And honestly, that works. I want to say that plainly because I think that matters. It works. When you're a kid trying to feel safe, being agreeable is effective. People like you. Nothing bad happens. So you keep doing it. And you keep doing it. And eventually it just becomes you. You don't even notice it anymore. It's how you move through the world. The thing that really got me, and honestly this took way too long to see, is how invisible it becomes when you're inside it. In my 30s, people pleasing didn't look dramatic. It looked like, yeah, totally. No worries. I'm happy to help. It looked like going quiet in conversations when I actually had something to say. It looked like apologizing for things that weren't my fault and kind of meaning it. Because somewhere along the way, I started believing I was the problem. And from the outside, it reads well. People call you reliable, easygoing, selfless. But underneath that, every time you say yes when you mean no, something inside you gets a message. And the message is what you need doesn't really matter here. And after enough of those, honestly, probably thousands, you stop knowing what you actually need. You ask yourself what you actually want. and there's just nothing there. Quiet. I used to think that means I was easygoing. It wasn't. I was in a conversation recently, and somebody said something I disagree with. I felt it immediately, like physically. I knew I disagreed. I nodded. Yeah, I can see your point. And I had this weird hollow nausea. Not because the conversation mattered, it didn't. It was realizing I had no idea how many times I'd done that in my life. Not consciously, automatically. And the thing that scared me wasn't even the number. It was that afterward, when I tried to figure out what I actually thought, I couldn't find it. It wasn't there. I spent so long editing myself for other people's comfort. I kind of lost the thread back to my own opinion. And honestly, every version of just learn to say no never really worked for me. Because it treats people pleasing like just a bad habit. But it's not. Because a part of me that learned this when I was a kid, that part still thinks being liked equals being safe. Even though I'm 39 now. The only thing that actually helped me is noticing there's a moment between somebody asking something from you and your mouth automatically saying yes. If you lived like this long enough, that moment is basically invisible. The yes is already happening before you even feel yourself choosing it. I still do it. Last week I said yes to something I didn't want to do, and I knew it while I was saying it, and I still said it anyway. But there's something different now. I can see it happening. There's this tiny moment right before I answer where I can feel the automatic version of me about to take over, and sometimes I can stop. Sometimes I can actually pause long enough to ask, do I really want this? And honestly, sometimes the answer is still yes. But at least now it feels like I was there when I made it.